Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Zero System back again. This time we're working on the RGC 80S Jim Cannon with Rocket Bazooka. This is a P Bandai kit I picked up recently from Big Bad Toy Store, and I wanted to start this video off with just the kit right out of the box and start from there, but I got a little bit ahead of myself. So any gray you see on this kit, like painted in gray, not almost black gray, that's stuff that I painted in. So right now I'm going to go through, clean it up, add some more detail painting. We're going to do some panel lining and decals, weathering, the whole 9 yards. So without further ado, let's get started. So in this part, I'm pretty much just panel lining. On this kit, I really wanted to just use the Gundam marker instead of using like anything else because it's just like it's so much easier. And if you're just doing a straight build, like I like to use like a mix of both. But on this one, I wanted to kind of like challenge myself and like just use the Gundam marker, and it turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. So I'm just kind of going through panel lining stuff, and then using the Q-tip and the toothpick to kind of go back and clean things up and make sure that my lines are clean and look nice and solid. Panel lining is always like a really relaxing process. I don't really mind it too much, especially if you're just doing a straight build, because you get the kit all built up, and then the panel lining is just such a simple thing that you do that just makes it, look so, just takes it up such a notch, and it's so easy. I did a lot of detail painting on this kit. You can see the cockpit door there is gray when it's plastic's blue, and it wasn't perfect, but it worked out. My paint was really old. I think that kind of had something to do with it. But once I applied the matte coat, you couldn't really tell. The unevenness kind of really went away, and once you weathered it, you really couldn't tell. So one reason too I like using the Gundam marker over panel liner, which they both have their uses, and usually I like to kind of bounce back and forth between both. But one of the good things about using the Gundam marker is just the fact that like it's not going to break your plastic. So like you can do your panel lines, you can do your seam lines, you can really just use this to your heart's content, and you don't have to worry at all about damaging the kit. Whereas if I were to use Tamiya panel liner at this stage, I'd risk the panel liner going into gaps and cracks and crevices and then degassing and cracking the plastic. So like if I were to use Tamiya panel liner, like I like to kind of use it like on the runner or when my pieces are kind of broke down, so it's got lots of room to flow and dry and let the air get to it. Because if you let it get to a place where there's no air or air can't get to it so it can dry, then it's gonna degas and crack the plastic. So now here I wrapped up all the panel lining and I'm doing some more detail painting. This kit came with a fair amount of stickers, not really that many, but there was a couple. This was one of the ones that would make a difference. It's a piece on the chest that has like a red border kind of around this inner vent. And I really didn't want to use a sticker there because that would eventually peel off, and the stickers just like don't look good. They never lay down right. So this took me a few tries to get this to look decent, because there was like lots of angles in here, and it was just my paint kept flowing into the piece in the bottom. So then I ended up just kind of painting the whole piece in red and going back in black, like filling the middle in black. But again, same with the cockpit door. Once I did the matte coat and the weathering, it really turned out pretty good. So no complaints there. It was hard to get right though. So, but with every one you do, you get a little bit better. So practice makes perfect. Now here, this is one of those other simple things that can just make a nice difference. Is just detailing the the bottom of the feet. I like doing the thrusters and some silver, and then doing the panel line in there. That way, if you ever put it up on a stand or do some kind of flying pose, at least like every part's detailed. Makes a difference. And then here I'm using the Molotov chrome marker to just kind of do some other details in the vents there. That didn't come out perfect, but it was okay. And then cleaning up some panel lines. This is actually a piece that I painted. I painted the gray on the bazooka, and it came out very clean. I really like how all the weapons came out. All right, so this is a really cool part. These origin kits come with a lot of beam weapons. I don't really like beam weapons. I think they kind of look like just unrealistic, and I don't know. I'm just not a big fan. So, and I don't really like handguns for giant robots either. Like in my head, they don't really go together. So, I figured I would take the handgun, the hand beam gun this Jim came with, and make it into kind of like a wrist-mounted, cannon or something like that. So I cut the basically just I got rid of the trigger. There we go. So then I put it back on there, and it had a little handy peg that fit right into the arm, so that came in handy. I didn't have to mod the arm or really do anything to the Gundam, but just pretty much modded the beam gun, and it was good to go. So then I kind of wanted to have one more gun that this guy could kind of hold on to. So I had this one kind of in storage. And I got some electrical ferrules that I usually use for like Hot Wheels exhaust pipes. And I used one, like a larger one, and it fit perfectly around the barrel of this gun. So then I got some super glue and glued it on there, and it made the perfect metal gun barrel, and just gave this gun like an extra little bit of oomph. And I did the same thing with the wrist-mounted one. I put like a metal barrel in there, and it just made it look so much cooler. Made it look less like a beam weapon and more like an actual, cannon or something like that. So we're gonna get started on the weathering process. As usual, I'm using Weathering Master Set D. It's got rust. It's got like rust, oil stain, and then a blue one. And then I broke the metallic one out too. I think that's like set F or something like that. I wanted to do some silver, but honestly, the silver never works out. I did some silver on this kit, and I'm just not happy with how the silver turned out. I really wish I would have just did all oil stain and rust with some, blue around the gun barrels. I might actually go back and maybe kind of readdress that later, but it looks good. I got a lot of nice comments on it, so in the end, I don't think it looked that bad, but I really regret using the silver weathering, except on the guns. I guess it looked okay there, but I don't like how the silver weathering looks. That's just a personal thing, but I really prefer the look of the rust and the oil stain kind of mixed together. I think that always gives like a perfect look. Even on darker colors, you kind of got to go a little heavier with it, but even on darker colors, just accents them so well. So here I finished the weathering process. You can kind of see all the different pieces. I did some really cool heat effect on the guns and the cannon. I did that all with the Weathering Master too. There was like no paint involved there or anything. So I'm gonna put it back together here, take a look at it. And I still gotta snap in the faceplate, put the stickers in, but here it is kind of completed, and it looks pretty good. I think it looks cool. So I'm happy how this one came out. I think it looks awesome. Definitely lots of nice details in there. So without further ado, let's take a closer look.